Welcome, everybody. I'm Ray Maietta, president of Research Talk, and we have a special edition of our Qualitative Scholar Conversations today, where Kristin Black and Jeff Petruzzelli, part of our Research Talk mentor team, are joining me in a conversation about our course happening this December on Monday and Tuesday, December 9th and 10th. The course is titled Sort and Sift, Think and Shift. Let the data be your guide. I'm a PhD sociologist, and my main area of interest is studying personal relationships, especially friendship. We're excited to get started collecting a second round of data in our project we're doing now on lifelong friendship.
I'm Jeff Petruzzelli. I've been with Research Talk since 2001 as a qualitative research specialist. I think it might be interesting for some of you that learned Sort and Sift years ago to kind of see some of the way the method has evolved over the years.
I'm Kristin Black. I am an assistant professor at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill in the Gilling School of Global Public Health. I'm in the departments of maternal and child health as well as health behavior. I'm also a qualitative research consultant for Research Talk. And for my personal research, I love focusing on the health outcomes of birthing people, particularly those who have chronic diseases, and looking at some of the inequities they face through navigating healthcare systems. The one thing about Sort and Sift that's really powerful is that it gives you lots of different options for looking through, analyzing, approaching your data throughout the entire research process. And with those different tools that you learn, you're able to kind of create your own unique path of how you want to explore certain pieces of your data, or how you may interpret it or analyze it, even how you may approach the methods that you may do with collection. So it allows you to take all these tools and allow you to create your own kind of path, really centered on the data itself, the process, and the populations that you're working with.
The key is the subtitle of the course, Let the Data Be Your Guide. To kind of ensure that we're following that path, we use quotations as a powerful guiding tool in everything we do. The goal is to ensure that any claim we make is supported by evidence from the data. Obviously, when we go into a project, we often have ideas and topics that we know we want to look for and kind of expect to see in the data. But with Sort and Sift, we want to push those ideas aside, the things that we already knew, the pre-existing topics, and focus on what's in the data. We emphasize quotations that we pull directly from the data. That initial dive into data where we start looking for quotations, we refer to as quotation discovery and engagement.
When people say what's unique about the Sort and Sift approach, it really is what Jeff was talking about, this kind of like the combination, this flexibility, the fluidity of the approach, the idea that we honor the words of participants and let those guide us, and then episode profiles. It's almost like, if you will, a vertical story of the full from minute 1 to minute 60, minute 90, however long it was, rather than just thinking of topics across. It is thinking every bit of that data document we're processing or data collection event is related to every other part.
We typically create a profile for each document in the data set. And again, document could be interview transcript. It could be, as Ray mentioned, policy article, or paper, and anything, that you consider data. So we'll create a separate file, episode profile for each of those documents. And again, you get that vertical look of the document itself to see what's in there. Episode profile is almost like it's almost like a summary or even a greatest hits collection of what's in that document. So when you're working through the entire project, you can look at these individual episode profiles and get a piece of what each one looks like individually, but also how they fit together across. Those episode profiles set the stage for work that you're doing throughout the process, throughout the analysis process, and leading into writing as well and presentation. We will certainly provide, tips and strategies and tools that you can use. You don't have to use all of those tools every time, but just to have that openness to be willing to try. Maybe you've never done diagramming before. Try some diagrams. Maybe you're not into memo writing. Try writing a memo.
I know people get stuck on, particularly not only like crafting their work and creating the methods and what they're going to do, but then getting to the analysis piece. And I feel like the Sort and Sift provides you with a lot of guidance and ways of approaching it that that can put the power in your hands, but also it's kind of like you're working in tandem with the voices of your participants and really centering their voice. I love that kind of conversation, your voice with their voice, and how you're really trying to merge the two to be really true and honest to the data. I hope people feel empowered by that.